48 divided by 4, isn't it? Yes. And he got what? 12 years.
2018 is here, and the turn of the calendar brings with it the dawn of a new system of education in Kenya. The phasing out of the 844 in all private and public schools starts this week. The system, which has been in place for slightly over 30 years, had been disapproved by education stakeholders, saying it is examination-centered rather than having focus on skills. So, after 2 years, a committee working on reforming the curriculum settled on the 2633 system. In this new structure, children will spend 2 years in pre-primary, 6 years in primary school, 3 in junior secondary, another 3 in senior secondary, and a final 3 years at university, with the option of spending 2 years in a college. In the 844 system, learners spent 8 years in primary school, 4 years in secondary school, and another 4 in university. Right from its design process, some education stakeholders have been opposed to the new system, raising questions about the process used to develop the framework. But the Education CS says the rollout will begin in 28,000 primary schools as scheduled.
A team that was working on this, that brought everybody in the education sector on board, everybody, and I mean everybody, including the unions. They sat throughout with us for the last 1 year. We have been working with them. So when I hear people saying, oh, we have not been consulted, I don't know what else they mean.
Anything that we have not negotiated, and I'm saying in broad daylight, we shall reject.
The new curriculum reform has a lot of challenges because nationally, our teachers, our heads of institutions, apart from 470 schools which were piloted, have the knowledge of the new curriculum reforms, and we as leaders. But the majority, all of us, are at sea.
Already more than 160,000 teachers handling formative stages of the learning have been trained on implementation of the new curriculum. Experts in the education sector say the new curriculum will be more beneficial to the learner compared to the current system of education, since it will not only focus on one's ability to hear and remember, but will focus on skills. Another big change in the education sector is the rollout of free secondary education that is expected to ensure there is 100% transition of learners from primary to secondary school. Some schools in Nairobi will open day wings to boost capacity and delink admission to bed space under the free secondary education plan, expected to increase Form 1 enrollment to above 1 million students.
There will be more entrants into secondary schools than ever before in our nation's history. Rather than watch our children drop out of their educational system when they are barely teenagers, almost all of them will now further their education. And this is because we believe that education should be inclusive, not exclusive.
Last month, the Teacher Service Commission transferred 557 primary and secondary schools head teachers. The move has elicited mixed reactions within the teaching fraternity, leading to court cases pitting disgruntled educators against TSC and Education CS Fred Matiang'i. Catholic Bishop Cardinal John Njue feels that TSC should have consulted widely before arriving at the decision.
If it's education, what has happened recently, the issue of transfers and so on, and sometimes not even a consultation has been done and so on. It sends very worrying situation and a fire.
Learners in public, primary and secondary schools will be receiving textbooks directly from the government starting this month, a decision that was not welcomed by booksellers and some union leaders. Matiang'i said supplying books directly to pupils and students will ensure the country achieves the 1-to-1 ratio of learners per book. About 6 million books for Form 1 are expected to be released on Wednesday. Schools will begin their first term tomorrow, a term that is expected to run through to 6th April before learners break for their holidays. The government expects all the new changes to run smoothly, even as some of the reforms are implemented in phases. Sharon Barang'a, NTV.